This is our time. No, this is our century. Our gold shines bright because this is a network unlike any other. 135,000 affiliated agents across 84 countries and territories in almost every Spanish-speaking country in the world. This is the most recognized name in real estate, the most respected brand in the industry. That has a nice ring to it. The leader in brand awareness 25 years in a row. This is earning accolades. More accolades. And more. Okay, that's a lot. This is making an impression. Over 27 billion of them. This is showing up big. Here, here, and all across here. Oh, and not just for clients, for the community. We're lifting up others with us. This is not resting on a legacy. This is running on it. Taking all that's been learned and seen and taught and dreamed over the past 50 years to shape and fuel the next 100. Century 21. This is our century.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes, everybody say something. We're having, of course, technical difficulties. So
Good morning.
I hope everyone can hear. Nick is having some issues, and I'm not sure what to do about that. But Nick will work it out. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. Let me get rid of that. Let me pull up a graphic because today is July 1st. And I'm going to go to Let's Talk Real Estate. And I just want to show you a graphic from our great library. This is the one, Colleague of the Century. And you see that they're in the home because this is the part of the dedicated to the joy of home and the event of the century marketing campaign. And here's just another great graphic that I haven't used much of. Just to remind the public that we're in the home business and everything is about the home. So I wanted to show you that. I'll show you another one. Oh, like I said, the last time, I've got pictures of soccer balls all over the place because we're sponsoring MLS League Soccer, and they're playing in the big national tournaments as well. So people are talking about soccer. So I would scroll through and find some of the soccer graphics. There's dozens of those too. Here's one. Here's one. Okay, so they're out there. So that's a really good thing to use today. Okay, let's get to our schedule. And what I'm going to do today, everybody, here's my teaser. We're going to work on the 5-point listing system today. That's a Mike Ferry invention, and it's a game changer. If you haven't studied it, if you haven't looked at it, now's the time, because that will change the way you look at real estate, and it will change your level of enthusiasm when you do get a listing and when you are talking to a potential buyer or seller. So let's think about that. But we have a guest this morning. Cassandra at Hickson Mortgage. And let's see. Okay. Cassandra, welcome.
Good. Hi there. I think some of you might know me. My name is Cassandra Carlson, and I am with Hickson Mortgage. Hickson has been around for quite a while. They're headquartered in Bend, Oregon, but I work remotely here in Beaverton. There's all kinds of new products always coming out, but this one really caught my eye. Hickson is lined up to work with the company called Knock. Christine Schneider is the rep there, and she's the expert about everything bridge loans with their company. So instead of me trying to butcher it with not saying all the right words, I'm going to let her do the presentation. But like I said, this is one of those loans that really caught my attention in this market. I think that all realtors and even loan officers, we need to be creative to help people make that decision to sell and buy. And I feel like we're in this constipation period where they can't sell because they can't buy because they don't have the money because they the equities in their house that they're selling, and it's just this unforeseeable circle that we're going and circling the drain, basically. And so I would like to introduce Christine. Like I said, she's the expert over at the company called Knock, and I'm going to let her explain everything about bridge loans that's going to just blow your mind. So take it away, Christine.
Good morning. Thank you, Cassandra. I am so excited. Thank you so much for everybody for having me. I'm so excited to talk everything about Knock because I love Knock. I've been doing in the business for over 30 years. I've been retail, builder rep, wholesale, account executive, and now about a year ago went over to Knock. And I fell in love with this product. And it is an amazing tool that we all need to have in our back pocket for these clients. It's all about them. It's about allowing them to move up, move down, just accommodate these clients because like Cassandra said, it's been a little stagnant, but it's such a great product. Is there a way I can go ahead and share my screen? Is that okay?
Yes.
I have a little presentation for you. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see it? Okay, perfect. Well, again, I'm with Knock Bridge Loans. Some of you may know about us, some of you don't. So this will be a great opening for you. Knock Bridge Loans, the two individuals that started Knock, started it about 2015, and they actually owned Trulia. And they wanted a better way for the clients to be able to access the equity in their home to utilize to purchase their next home. Okay. A lot of people didn't have cash on hand, but they had tons of equity in their home. So Knock Bridge Loans was created. This has been going since about 2020. We've perfected the art of both the Knock Bridge and the Knock Bridge Plus program. We have tons of collateral for everybody. We've got anybody can go to knock.com. Agents can run it, loan officers and buyers. But I'm going to explain the differences in who's running to get the information that they need. We have great, if you log into knock.com, we have great marketing material as well, co-branding material, flyers, anything to let clients know. There's one-page items to let your clients know about the program in writing. We also have amazing Trustpilot reviews. It's extremely important. It comes from agents, it comes from realtors, it comes from brokers and borrowers. So it's a really good thing to look up if you get a chance. So the concept and the idea is your client has a home and they want another home. They want to be able to move into that home, be non-contingent. They want to be able to go in. They don't want short-term housing. They want to be able to time their move correctly. If they're elderly, they want to have one move. Maybe they're moving down. If you have kids, you don't want to be staying with family and friends. You want to be able to time it. And this is such a great product for that as well. It also gives you more purchasing power. If a client has a certain amount of money and they need to put a little bit more money down to get better pricing, it allows you to tap in not just for the down payment, closing costs, paying off debt on the new purchase, and up to $35,000 to improve the home on non-structural items after they move out, carpet, paint, fixing it up to make that property shine its best to be able to sell quickly. You can have flexibility in the way you structure it. So when you ask your loan officer to go in, when Cassandra goes in, she's able to look at some pre-numbers for you, get her involved. That way she can run numbers. You guys work on the home part, she'll work on the loan. All we do is facilitate the equity in the home so we can send those funds to escrow. Everything is in writing. We're able to get the contract out to the clients within the first 24 to 48 hours after they apply for free. So they know exact numbers. They know they can be non-contingent. They know we can remove it from the debt to income. It's extremely important to have those numbers with the confidence of a backup offer in the event the home doesn't sell in 6 months. So here you have a new mortgage. So that would be the new purchase they're doing. That's Cassandra. Then we come into play and we offer the Knockbridge or the Knockbridge Plus with the purchase offer guarantee that's attached to it with our contract fee and the upside guarantee. If it's sold for more, that client would get the upsell. Extremely important for that as well. The knock advantages are going to be eliminating the PITIA from the debt to income calculations. Not many people can afford 2 mortgage payments, but with this program, they can only have to qualify with the new payment. They can access up to $1 million in equity. There's a built-in safety net, like I said, with our knock purchase offer. That is the bona fide backup purchase offer that we give that shows the numbers in the event the home doesn't sell. We're going to go through those numbers as well. The monies can be used for down payment, closing costs, debt payoff on the new home, to qualify. And we allow them, they take out 6 months of payments on the departing home, and we wire it back to the client on the close of the purchase on one of our programs. The reason we do that is we don't want them worrying about making that payment, and we want to be able to remove it from the debt to income. So we're going to advance them 6 months of PITIA, in order for them to have it there to make that payment. You also get a seamless move. You get home prep, like I said, up to $35,000. Again, for fixing up the exiting property, minor repairs, carpet paint, anything to make that house look great and sell for the highest price. You also are allowed up to $5,000 of moving costs. Moving's expensive, and it certainly helps to get some money to be able to help with that move. What it eliminates is the need for a HELOC or penalties with lost gains or retirement funds. Because a HELOC is not going to get rid of the DTI. It's still going to have a payment. You're still going to have a payment on the first, the HELOC, and the new first. So they're not going to be able to really alleviate that from the debt. This helps it. This product helps it. It also eliminates the home contingency. We make these buyers non-contingent. Sellers like it. You like it. Quicker closes. We don't want anybody losing offers. We don't want them in bidding wars. This actually is telling them they have this amount of money, and with our contract that they can get even before they start looking. These people have a contract stating that they are able to, and this is the amount of money they're going to be able to get to be able to win that deal. You have no double moves. Double moves are awful. I just did it to Nashville 2 years ago. I had to stay with friends for 6 months. My home wasn't ready. Nobody likes to have to do that. You can time it, whether you're doing builder stuff or whether they're moving out of state. Any of those items will definitely help in this program. So now we're going to get to costs. Of course, there's cost to everything, but to access up to $1 million, there are 0 upfront costs. 0. We don't ask for anything from the client. What we do is a one-time 2.25 contract fee for that bona fide backup purchase offer that enables them to be non-contingent and to remove it from the debt to income. We have $1,850 in closing costs. Now, again, this is not our closing costs. This would be when you're doing an LE, you have to estimate the fees of what escrow and title would be, correct? So this is an estimate of what escrow and title would be, because there would be escrow and title on this. We have 0 payments for 6 months and 0 interest for 6 months. There is no interest in payments. It's due in 6 months. With that bona fide backup offer, we can purchase that product. Again, all those numbers are given in the very beginning. The Knockbridge Plus is slightly different. I won't go too far into it, but basically the bridge loan itself, the basic bridge loan, has the first still in play. If there's a HELOC on it, we have to pay the HELOC off with those funds. If it's the Knockbridge Plus, we actually pay off the mortgage. We would be the new lien holder, okay? So it's a little bit different, still 0% interest, 0 payments. They still have the ability to make non-contingent offers. The only difference is the 2.25 contract fee has a 1% origination fee attached to it because we're having to pay off that mortgage. So they can use either one, but there will not be 6 months of PITIA that we would give back to them. Here's the test address. You guys can write this down. When you log into our system at knock.com, it will come up with the address right here. So you go knock.com and you choose whether you're a lender or an agent, okay? I always let people know when you have a loan officer as good as Cassandra is, I would say, hey, can you look this up? Because if an agent runs the numbers, you're not going to get them immediately. You'll get somebody that will call you back or you'll get me. But I always tell people, run it through your loan officer, because a lender running the deal through our system will get immediate numbers, estimated numbers. So your loan officer, Cassandra's going to be able to see potentially how much equity is there. It will pull an AVM in the background and it will go ahead and say, okay, these are the estimated numbers. It will also show all the fees, the estimated fees, the 2.25, what would the cost be? If you choose to do the Knockbridge loan, where we give the 6 months PITIA back to them, it will line item that and the $1,850 in closing costs. So everything is written out. Attached to that as well, when they do this, is the invite. It will attach it to your loan officer. And then what happens is when your client, there's a button there for the loan officer to be able to invite the client directly through the website. They will then go in and apply for free. And I always let people know, go in and run the address, see what it can give you, see how much equity it is, use it as a tool. That way she can put the loan together for you. She can say, this is what we can do on the front. This is how much they might need to have. We have to remove it from the debt to income and be non-contingent. So those are really good numbers for her to have. What we try to do when the client applies is we will communicate not just with the client, just on the bridge, but we will add in the emails. We will add the agent, we will add the loan officer, the buyer, so that everybody's on the email to be able to coordinate that purchase. We usually wire funds 3 days before closing on the new home. 3 to 4 days, because we have a 72-hour right of rescission. Why do we do it then? We are going to wire it towards the end. Let's just say your client applies and they want to know, they want to be non-contingent. They have to be non-contingent. Their home is listed. Be careful on listings that are listed longer than 60 days. They will probably be ineligible at that time. I might be able to get an exception, but usually if they want to go ahead and run it before they list their home, because they have 45 days to list that home, after the new home closes. But let's just say the home's already listed, okay? And they want to run the numbers. It will tell them on the numbers when you run it through the system, or your loan officer does if it's eligible. You invite the client. From the day the purchase closes, they have 45 days to list the home with you. That means they have time to move out. They have time to fix up their home. They have time to not rush and schedule the timing between the new home and the old home. They're not rushed by any means. They will then have 6 months, 0 interest, 0 payments to be able to sell that home. When you have in that contract, the numbers are going to be drawn up with a 75% fair market value. And you're going to say, well, how do you get the value? Where do you come up with this? When you run the address through the system, it's going to give us an estimate. When your client applies for free in our system with the application, we will run a credit looking for 620, unless you're in Texas, which it's then 680. It's a little bit different. But regularly, it's 620. We're looking for that. We ask for driver's license, mortgage statement if there is one, an insurance step page. And then what we do is we ask for photos, whether the photos be the listing agent taking them, or the client can go around the house and take the photos with their cell phone and send them in. That is fine too. We don't know what kind of upgrades they have. Then what we do is we'll reach out to you as the agent, whoever's listing their home. And we'll say, what do you think you're going to list this for? And we talk with you. We look at the comps, we get a number together, and we send out that contract. It's in 24 to 48 hours. All this happens pretty quick. If your client's really quick, we will then put all the numbers solid in an email in that contract. It will also state, in the event the home doesn't sell after 6 months, we will purchase the home at 80% fair market value. And we'll have what we would purchase it for. In the event, let's just say 6 months comes up and the home's not sold. You as the agent or the buyer would say, okay, I haven't sold my home for whatever the reason. Then you could sell it to us. You still get that commission. Whoever's listing it still going to get the commission by then selling it to us. If we turn around and sell it for more, your client will get the upsell. The only thing would be different is if we had to do something to the property to make it sell. So after 6 months, we would say, okay, why hasn't it sold? That's when we would step in and say, okay, do we need to put carpet in and they didn't? Or do we need to do this to it? We would minus out those fees, but the rest of it will go back to that client. I know I've said a lot. Does anybody have any questions yet?
Yeah, I do. It is a bit complex, but very useful.
Yes.
Very useful. You said no second position, no HELOCs. You mean that is that required that that'd be paid off and go away?
Yes, we would. If you're doing the knock bridge loan, where we're actually keeping the first in play and we're giving you the 6 months of payments at the closing of the new one. If there happens to be a second, we would have to pay that off because we would need to be in second position. Okay. If we're doing knock bridge plus, where we're actually paying off the mortgage, then we would pay off both of them. But yes, on the regular bridge loan, we would have to go ahead and pay off the HELOC with those funds. And we would discuss that with you, with Cassandra. And another thing is, if your client wants to use this to be non-contingent, and let's just say their home sells, it's listed and it sells right before, and you don't need the funds 3 to 4 days before the purchase closes, or whatever the situation is, an emergency happens, somebody came in with the cash, you can cancel for free with us. There is no cost to do this. You can say, this didn't work out, or we sold our home And we'll just say, thank you very much, as long as we haven't issued any funds. That was another reason we put it to the backside. If your client would like to have upgrades and they want to add things to the home, we would also they would list that to us and say, we want improvements, we want carpet, we want paint. And we'll ask them up to $35,000, how much do you want? And we wire that back to the client at the closing as well. So they have those funds that they can do those improvements.
Nice. So we can go into your website and type in an address.
Yes.
We can run scenarios to explain.
Right. You can run scenarios. What the thing is, you're not going to get immediate numbers. Cassandra is, because you're not the lender, she is. So the lenders get the direct numbers. You can run it through as an agent, right? And but the agent's just going to get, yes, potentially it would qualify, but you're not going to know specifically what the numbers would be and how much they would be getting out. That's where Cassandra would come in, because if she's running it and you're on the phone with her and she runs it, or with your client, she can look at it and say, it's showing up and estimated it, and send you a copy of it. Or get me involved. You know, both of you guys can get me involved and say, hey, I think I have this. But if you do go in, because it says lender and or agent, but if an agent or a buyer runs it in the system, they just get, yes, it does, or it doesn't qualify.
Okay.
Okay. We do not do appraisals. We do not do inspections. We do not bother the client with that. We don't ask for income or assets, nothing like that. We basically go off of an equity position and making sure they have 620 FICO.
Okay. Very good. Does anyone else have questions? Who's used Shauna, have you used a bridge loan before? She's muted.
Okay. No, I actually haven't.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I
Augie,
have not.
Augie, have you used bridge loans?
Yeah, but it's been a while. I want to say about 10 years ago.
Oh,
And
really?
I do remember a little bit of what she's talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's been a while.
Okay. Okay. Well, Christine, maybe we'll bring them back.
Well, you know, it's interesting. They were completely different from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. They've really come, and ours seems to be, besides our Trustpilot reviews, ours is our service is impeccable. It's all about your clients, and we are a partnership with you, with the loan officer, and with us to make these clients happy. And if anybody would like to email me, I for some reason don't think I have my email on here. Okay, actually, let's do this. Let's just say, if you find out you have a property, you can go to knock.com. We already talked about that. This is mostly what Cassandra would do. If you guys would like to go in there as an agent just to see if it is. Another point I want to make is this is primary to primary only. The max listing price is 1.5 in most states, unless you're in California and Washington. There are high cost areas that go to 2.5. That would be in here. The system will also tell you that, or you can call me. We don't care where your client is purchasing because we don't have anything to do with that. But it would go off if you have a client moving out of state, from out of state, and we're licensed in that state, and they're moving to the state you're in, we can do that as long as we're in one of these areas. And I think we're really close to Nevada in the next month or so. There are a couple more states that we're actually adding in. We add them all the time. So just to keep that, if anybody wants to email me, here's our resources. My email is Snider, SNIDER, at knock.com. And Cassandra also has my phone number, but I'll give it to you, 470-250-8089. And if anybody needs anything, if you need marketing materials, I can show you where to go. If you have questions, anybody ever wants me to talk to a client, you just call me, ring me. I can talk to any of your clients and explain, because if you guys are just learning it, I'm happy to help.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would
Thank-
just like to add one more thing. I would definitely encourage you as agents, because it's like we're kicking dust off of an old product, and it's changed completely from what it used to be. And even me, when Christine presented to us, I requested a one-on-one with her, and she walked me through it, and I could ask questions because I thought of something new. So if you're curious or you want more information, definitely give Christine a call or send her an email, and she can schedule that one-on-one with you. The more you hear it, the more it makes sense. And then I think you'll see the possibilities for it.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here to help you guys. Honestly, it may or may not work for that particular client, and that's okay too, but it's checking. We're here to make sure that we can check and make sure any client that can be put on this can and use those funds.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And we can be dismissed.
Yes.
Okay.
So much, everybody. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Let me know if anybody's contemplating doing that. It can help out in the right situation. Okay, can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see the graphic? Maybe not. Well, click in the graphics inside the chat. We got some great 4th of July Freedom Party of the Century 21 North Star. So check that out.
Super cute.
It is, and it's Canada Day. But I guess Canada's 250 years old also, or something like that. Okay, let's go into, I wanted to talk about, I can go into a blog and
The home or
I want to talk about the 5-point listing presentation today. And Sean and I have been through this several times in the past. And I just like to bring it up every now and then because it is one of the most important things that we have and one of the most important things that we do. And I guess rule number 1, this comes from the Mike Ferry organization. It's been around a long time. It's been used by thousands and thousands of realtors for the last 30 years or so, the last 50 years. And it's a concise program so that you really, instead of winging it on a listing presentation, you're actually going in, having methodically thought about how the process works, what the important elements of it are, and what you're going to say. So let's have a look at some of these. These are numbered. Yeah, this is the program itself. Okay, so number 1, pre-qualify 100% of the people before you go out, because it determines if they're serious or not. It gives you their concerns and objections ahead of time. It demonstrates your professionalism, and it gives you information for building rapport. So all of those things taken care of right at once. What was the most serious thing about that? It tells you their concerns and objections. And anybody with any experience in real estate knows what it's like to go into the house and be blindsided by something that you didn't think to ask. And you're kind of stuck there with a CMA in your hand that doesn't exactly address the reality because you simply didn't ask a question that's critical. The second, mail or deliver a pre-listing package. This is the one most people miss, but it's a crucial step to it. Inside your packet would be a list of personal references, a list of names and phone numbers, your plan of action, what you're actually going to do to sell the house, and a copy of your track record, or if you're newer in the business, the company's track record. And talk to your managing broker. We can help you put that together. A completed CMA, of course, with a suggested list price, and a carefully done CMA. You're going to do CMAs differently when you follow this program, because you may have asked questions that you aren't asking today. If you follow the scripts, you're going to be asking a comprehensive level of questions. So when you go to the CMA, you probably got more information than you're used to having. It's going to be a better CMA by asking these questions. Get a completed net sheet, either your own or get it from Title, I would recommend. A completed contract. And what I mean by that is, let's go old school. Yeah, you probably do them online most of the time now, but take something they can sign. You know, sometimes you go to a listing appointment and they just want to sign. And always have it for them. Always have something for them to sign. And then all of your disclosure statements and everything that's required to take the listing. So you're going to mail this to them ahead of time. You're either going to mail it, have it delivered, or email. Number 3, call back to confirm your appointment and that they have received your listing package and have read it. And make sure that all the decision makers are there. This one is the one we get most of the pushback on from realtors, because they're afraid to do that. They're going to go, well, I'm giving him all the information. Have I received it? They're going to say, yeah, and I disagree with it. I don't like that list price. That's not enough. And your answer is, fine. That's the first thing. As soon as I get to the house, that's the first thing we're going to discuss. They're going to have another objection at the same time. They're not going to like your commission. Fine. That's the first thing we're going to discuss when we get into the house. And then look what happens now. You know what you're in for. You know probably all of their objections or all of their major objections, and you're completely prepared for that the moment you walk into the house, and you have your responses to those, which are the most common objections anyway. You should certainly have responses to those. Number 4, show up physically, emotionally, and mentally prepared. So this is showtime, and you need to be early. So Shauna, what have we said about being early?
Well, what happens if there's road construction and you're not planning ahead? You're going to be late.
You're gonna be
So it being early, because then you could take a look at the neighborhood, sit there quietly. Sometimes if I'm early, I text and say, "Hey, I'm early." And they'll say, "Come on in." So sometimes you can get the appointment started a little sooner, which frees up more time later on in the day too. So I always try to be 15 minutes early.
It does. And everybody approaches that differently. But if you're running late, people tend to get upset, and you're pounding the steering wheel and you're cursing the car in front of you. And that's not the mindset you want to go in and do something as important as this.
Yeah, and it's construction season.
It is. So when you think about, maybe you Google how long it's going to take to get there, and add a good chunk of time to that. Would you rather be pounding the steering wheel for 15 minutes or sitting in a nice tree-lined neighborhood preparing for the appointment you're about to go in? So showing up and showing up early is a very important aspect to this. And then finally, number 5 is to have a good time. Follow your listing scripts verbatim. The notes you took in preparation for this, the questionnaires that we fill out, have them with you. You know, have a clipboard and have all of that stuff on it along with your presentation. Whatever you sent them, whether it was physically printed or not, you've got that in your hand also physically printed. So follow the script verbatim, read them to the client if you have to, and always keep a copy with you and follow it. One thing we do is when we go in there, you want to take control of it. Some people, they go to a listing appointment and they think they're still in the rapport building phase. Yet we're actually pinpointing right into the business phase of this. So, you know, we recommend that you don't stop and have them give you a big tour of the house. You want to go right to the kitchen table with the bright lights on. All the decision makers are at the table, and you put down printed materials, especially your CMA, and you begin the presentation that way. And you've got the numbers in front of you. And then you see what you've come to agreement on, and then you close it. Would you sign the paper, please? That's why you're there. This should only take 20 minutes if you've done the work ahead of time. So let's look at some of these things. If you think these 5 steps don't apply to you, your ego is generally in the way. And that is something that can happen. And I can understand that. Maybe it's worked well for you in the past. Maybe you have a 70% conversion rate on all of these appointments you get to. That's very high. Could it be higher? I think once you study this program, you'll see that it could be higher. You'll see that you know, maybe there's things that you've done that you would not do after learning this. So create a pre-appointment routine that includes getting your mindset in order, getting ready for this, practicing your presentation, looking and dressing professionally. That's a whole nother topic. Ensuring you have all the proper materials prepared and being punctual or early. They always give the listing to the person who earns it, not the person who needs it. So think about that. You will earn it by having good skills. If you need it, then study these skills, and that will get you the listing. Record your presentation live on a regular basis as a way to improve skills. And we've done that before. We've recorded our script reading sessions and our training sessions. It's very good to look back at those and see how you did and what you might do differently. It is common to ask sellers why they didn't list with you. Instead, why not ask them why they did to build your confidence? That's a great thing. A lot of businesses do that. That's not kind of just a general business method is, you know, why did you choose us? Listen to the prospect with the intent to understand what they're saying versus listening to them so that you can make a quick response. We've deep dived into that very issue before, that when we're listening to people, why are we listening? Are we trying to get information from them, or are we just trying to think of the next thing we're going to say, which is a very natural thing to do. But be conscious of that, of listening to the information they're trying to give you. Shauna, would you read the next one?
Which one is that? Can you point to it? I'm sorry. I was just listening. I wasn't reading it. Sorry about that. The one right there that says knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear, or?
Before, yes.
Okay. Sellers do not want to hire an unknowledgeable or unconfident agent. Confidence comes through the knowledge of the material you are presenting. So definitely I agree with that. Nobody, I mean, the whole reason they're hiring you is they need you to take them through the steps, right?
It is.
Remember, first impressions are critical. This includes everything from the clothes you wear and how well you are groomed, and whether your shoes are shined, to the smile on your face and the strength of your handshake. Think about upgrading everything. That's kind of old-fashioned with the handshake thing, but I don't know. I don't judge people on handshakes. Do you?
You judge them on everything, and you probably do unconsciously.
Okay.
The reality is you're judged on your car. You're judged on the way you answer the phone. You know, all of that is true at some level to most people.
Absolutely.
The idea is here, just upgrade everything, do everything better. When we say knowledge equals confidence, ignorance equals fear, you know, that also goes along with the old cliche of fake it till you make it. And we're all new once, but instead of, you know, punishing the client or always learning things by doing them, there's a lot to be studied before you go in there so that you can make that first impression and not have to learn everything by making mistakes, because it's going to happen. So
and if it's a referral, I've always been taught to ask the person referring about them, like we call them golden nuggets or whatever they're called. Then you have other things to talk about as well, or just connect with them, because connecting with the person is very important too. Let's see. A sales presentation requires asking great questions, not telling people what you think.
There you go.
Yep.
Hard to do.
It is hard to do, but it is definitely, it makes them feel part of it, and it makes them feel like you care about them. So asking questions allows you to maintain control of the presentation, your understanding of the market, and how you can help the prospect achieve their goals can be a deciding edge. So work under the assumption that because you pre-qualify, you can use the 1-minute listing presentation and it will work. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
I went on a listing presentation and I missed a step, and I regret it when I do that. So I'm so glad you brought this to our attention today, because the step was I didn't talk about the commission ahead of time. And in 2 different ones I had, they were very, very different. One was offering more and the other one wanted a lot less. So you just talk about those things ahead of time.
You do. Yeah, and I've learned that the hard way. I've gone in, I guess one story, what I really appreciated about the 5-step listing presentation was I went on a listing and it was, I hadn't pre-qualified. I didn't know enough about the property. There's one street in Portland on a ridge, Alameda Ridge, and I just did not connect that it was on this one street, which has views and is next to an elementary school that people would kill to get into. And I did not take that into consideration because the comps didn't show it. The comps didn't give me any clue that that was happening. So we went in, and at $400,000 in a house that was actually worth $7 million. Okay, you don't want to do that. And all this seller wanted to talk about was Alameda Ridge. So I would have known, and I would have done comps based on nothing but that street. So
Yeah.
the more information, the better. And again, this program is comprehensive. Every question is being asked that needs to be asked. So what I'd like to do next week, Shauna, is you and I are very good at role-playing these and going through the questions. And we kind of do a phone conversation about asking you things. And then we pretend that we're at the door. We knock on the door and you let me in. And we go right to the kitchen table and finish up the presentation. And then we will get a signature and we will be the obvious choice to get a listing. So let's do that next week.
Yes.
And Koen, we have some announcements for what have we got coming up?
Yeah, you guys have the Caldwell Branch awards ceremony, July 9th. That's coming up. I believe that is actually next Thursday. So excited to have some of the people from the Portland office at the Caldwell office and give out some great awards to some great agents.
Okay. All right. We're looking forward to that. Yes, I got 7 o'clock Thursday the 9th. I got to get on a plane. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
Those are little planes.
Yeah. Exactly. There's a lot going on in the Caldwell office. We are so looking forward to seeing it and moving on. And yeah, lots to say about that.
Yep, there's lots to celebrate.
Okay. All right. That's our time. We had a good presentation this morning on bridge loans, which is very helpful. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.